very much. Crowe Zimbabwe is part of an international global accounting network, one of the top 10 global networks in the world. We in Zimbabwe have got a license for Zimbabwe, for Zambia, and for South Sudan as well, in partnership with our Kenyan counterparts. At Crowe, we have two main branches. We have the partnership, which runs with the audit side of things, where we carry out external audits, internal audits, as well as forensic audits. Then on the other side, we have got a company which is an advisory company which deals with services within the advisory services sphere. And in that sphere, we look at things like your valuations, your transactions, your due diligences, and similar stuff. We also have a number of services where we consult, such as tax, such as corporate recovery or corporate rescue now, such as also marketing, and also we have a human resources consultancy.
Yes, we have been having a workshop with non-governmental organizations here in Harare. What was the objective? What is your aim?
Our main objective, as far as the workshop that we have had with the NGOs, is to try and impart knowledge which can help the NGOs to be more effective in the work that they are actually doing. So you'll find we have covered quite a number of topics, top among them being on the corporate governance side, but also in terms of improving systems and processes so that they can be better effective and they are in a better position to manage their businesses and produce much better results.
And besides NGOs in Zimbabwe, business has gone more on private players than the public sector. What is your plan in engagements with such people for compliance purposes in helping them to be accountable, especially in terms of tax revenue?
I think one of the things that we have done is we have identified sectors that we want to especially zero in on, and then in other sectors we look at them in general. So we have gone out and we have focused, for instance, we are focusing on listed companies to see how we can also get into those ones and support them in such areas as compliance. We have had to do quite a number of forensic audits on a number of listed companies, and we believe that our other services will start also spreading significantly. We have also had quite a lot of inroads into other service sectors in the private sector, and it's looking very positive for us, an organization that has been present in this country for 10 years. Our visibility is beginning to increase significantly, and we are looking at developing much more. If you look at about four years ago, we were looking at an organization that, as Crowe, we're an organization with less than 20 employees, but we are now looking at Zimbabwe having 45 plus or minus 45 staffing, and Zambia has got about 15 staffing, making a complement of about 60.
How are your services complementing the government's plan to have each and every organization being compliant, supporting the Zimra initiative of collecting revenue in Zimbabwe?
I think what we do, especially when you talk about Zimra, every exercise that we do, as you saw, our tax partner was talking about tax health checks. We make it mandatory for every audit client that we do a tax health check. But In terms of providing advice on systems, when we do our audits, we always provide that advice to help them to comply with the regulators, and we give them what we call management letters, where we provide them with areas where we believe they can actually improve. But more so, one of the things that we do as accountants is that a major part of our involvement is in developing skills that are eventually go into commerce and industry. So you'll find that about 70 to 80% of our staffing are actually people that are undergoing development, and eventually they leave the organization and they go out into commerce and industry, and they help in terms of making sure that there is compliance within the companies that are in the industry. And that definitely then filters through and complements the efforts that organizations like Zimbra to push.
Then in conclusion, you have been having issues with local authorities across the country. Have you ever been engaged with any local authority in terms of audits?
Yes, we have been involved with local authorities. We have some local authorities that we are actually auditing at the moment, and the main problem that we have with local authorities is that their systems are normally not managed very well. There is need for improvement in terms of systems. And you may find that there are a lot of things that are not going on so well because the local authorities, they tend to have challenges in terms of their cash flows. And because of that, they also tend not then to be compliant in a lot of areas. There is need for really improvement in corporate governance so that those authorities are in a position where they can spruce up, increase their efficiencies and effectiveness of delivery of their services.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.